This is the Commodity Scrap Metal Recycling and Economic Report, brought to you by Bentley Roll-Off Trailers, Gondola Trailers, and Roll-Off Truck Parts, March 27, 2023. U.S. weekly raw steel production rose slightly to 1.686 million tons, which was at a 75.4% capacity utilization rate. Steel mills are keeping supplies low as the economy slows. WTI crude oil price rose to $69.26 a barrel on robust Russian exports and on U.S. support of banks, which helps the U.S. economy. The U.S. weekly oil rig count rose slightly to 593 as oil producers remain concerned about oversupply. Russian increased exports of oil could hurt oil company profits here in the U.S. U.S. weekly crude oil production rose to 12.3 million barrels per day in a tight range for the past 10.5 months. Tight supplies and low production are important to high prices and high profits. U.S. exports of oil remain near record levels, which is great for U.S. jobs. Scrap steel number one HMS price was steady at $390 gross ton, as supply and demand are mostly balanced. This means little price pressure up or down for April. Hot rolled coil steel price rose to $59.46 a hundredweight, which is $11.89 a ton. This was as a tight supply remains here in the U.S., which is keeping prices high. Copper price rose to $4.07 a pound on demand rising in China and as exports of copper from Peru sank. Aluminum price rose to $1.07 a pound, which is $23.48 a metric ton on low inventories and China's increasing demand of aluminum. Canadian February inflation fell to 5.2%, the least since January 2022. Transportation rose slower as energy costs fell. Food remained elevated, though, due to adverse weather conditions. U.S. Federal Reserve interest rates rose by 25 basis points, which is 0.25%, to 4.75 to 5%, the highest since 2007. There are major concerns about banks' health that could slow the economy. U.S. February existing home sales jumped 14.5% over January to 4.58 million annualized. Home prices decreased versus last year on the dip in interest rates and on the strong job market. U.S. S&P Manufacturing Index increased to 49.1. Since under 50 is contraction, that meant it contracted less. It was the best in 5 months, though, on a renewed rise in orders as lead times fell the fastest on record. U.S. weekly initial unemployment claims fell to a very low 191,000, with under 300,000 being a strong economy. Companies are holding on to workers, which means a tight job market. And a tight job market brings higher wages, which can bring inflation. Wall Street's Dow Jones Industrial Average rose 376 points to 32,238 as concerns over banks continue. Roll-off trailer and roll-off truck parts for sale. Galbraith, American, Palfinger, Dragon, and more. Rollers, pins, shivs, tarps from Pioneer, Rollright, Arrow, Donovan, Mountain Tarp as well. As always, feel free to call or email me with any questions, and we hope all have a safe and profitable week.